Hello and welcome to Kohler Commentary. Today I am joined by the Chi family with the Kohler crew. Woo! In honor of Chuseok and just wanting to have a time to create a space to enjoy our heritage together, I bought this game called Parents Are Human. Shout out to Joanne who told me about it. But it's a card game that's designed to spark deep conversations between you and your family members. There are blue question cards to prompt stories and conversations around life events, wisdom, identity, and relationships. And then there are also red action cards to add elements of courage and play into the experience. Each card has a level indicated by 1 or 2 peppers in the top left corner to signify the depth of the card. Maybe like because Asians use a lot of spice. I don't know, but I like that. For the sake of this podcast, we modified the time and amount answer to show a simple glimpse of how it works and how connection can be created in a short time. I have a lot of excited energy. I can feel it. Once again, thankful for family members who support me, even though this is not their comfort zone whatsoever. And so the reason I like Parents Are Human is because they ask questions in English, but if you flip it over, they have a translation in the certain language that you would want it in. So I know there's Korean, there's Taiwanese, there's Tagalog. There's so many different languages, really geared to allow barrier of language to not be there when wanting to really dig deep with your parents or with family members like grandparents that you might want to know more of. And so I chose just some sample questions. I hope that maybe if I'm successful, I can even get a giveaway with Parents Are Human to see if someone can get this for their own families. And we will begin with, 1 second. Matt, you were worried that you couldn't read the Korean translation. Well, the phonetics are here.
Oh, I can try to read it.
Yeah. What is something you enjoy doing for me? 저를 위해 즐겨 하시는 일은 뭐예요?
As of late, something that I enjoy doing for Unji is watching Jaden a little more so that Unji can get a little bit more sleep or do a little bit more of her work while I'm staying here.
I enjoy being able to not make Unji as angry anymore.
I mean, I guess a lot of things. What do I enjoy doing for you? I mean, lately I also enjoy finding ways to like lighten your physical load, I guess, just because the baby's really starting to move a lot. I hadn't really felt her tummy in a while because I was gone and then you were gone. He moves like constantly. So yeah, I enjoy trying to take the physical burden off you sometimes.
부모님들 저를 위해 즐겨 하시는 일은 뭐예요?
I enjoy doing for Unji is whenever she asks me to come over, I like to come and help cooking and cleaning and of course watching Jaden. And I enjoy playing game with her. She loves playing games, so I like playing game too.
She loves playing games because you love playing games.
I enjoy providing things for Unji, especially going to Costco with Unji.
I have to put that, yeah.
I have one more. I enjoy organizing things in your home for you. It really brings me a lot of joy, and I know that you also appreciate it, so it doubles the amount of joy. Actually, also, I really enjoy just having dinner with you. Remember when we had dinner together? I feel like always nowadays, it's not that I love that Jaden is there, but when Jaden's there, you have to feed him and your full attention is not always there. So when I get a moment alone with just you, I really enjoy more of that nowadays.
I enjoy waiting for Unji's FaceTime.
Wait, but is that for Jaden or Unji?
But she's calling.
But you see Jaden.
Take turns to describe each other in 3 words. 모두 돌아가며 서로를 3 단어로 표현하세요.
Or why don't you do the person on your left or something, the person on your right. So everyone describes another person.
The person
Right.
Right. Okay.
The person to our right.
Okay. So
Unji starts.
I'm going to say that Matt is Sleepy.
That's not that nice of a start.
졸려워. I'm just kidding.
It's true.
Matt is very patient. Matt is very athletic. And Matt is very good with his words. Like insightful, I guess. When the mic drops. How do you say that in Korean? Patient.
When the mic drops.
인내심 많다. 참어. 많이 참어. Me. And then 스포츠 좋아. 잘해. And then 말 잘해.
Okay, 3 words for Jessica. First word is sacrificial. That's like comes immediately. You're very diligent. I think if you're working, that's very impressive. Throw a little curveball. Give you a not awesome word. I think you're stubborn, but sometimes that could play out positively, right?
But everyone in this room is stubborn.
Unyak. I'll try to find words that are not so obvious about Unyak to say. I think Unyak is sensitive to himself, but to other people. And it makes he can be more thoughtful in that way. I feel like nowadays more, before not so much. But this was from like my most recent trip to LA. But he 맞춰줘s a lot. So like whatever I wanted to do, he let me do it all. And of course I was on vacation. He was kind of hosting. So what is that like? He has a generous spirit. Yeah, hospitable, generous, wants to and he is loyal, I think loyal to his friends that he's close with, family, and that comes out in like the things that you do and you prioritize in your life. Relationships, but also with work and what you want to do and like committed.
Cool, thank you. Can I take words that you took?
You can't reuse any of the same words.
I think someone's very playful. She likes to play a lot of games, golf, obviously, but also games with us as a family and with Jaden. So very playful. Umma is very, to me at least, very calm. Yes.
What do you mean by that?
Compared to how a lot of the people in our family talk, she is the most calm in her demeanor.
Oh, like gentle spirit.
Gentle, yeah.
Gentle
in terms of how she portrays it. I think a lot of us are very dynamic when we speak and loud when we talk to each other. And then the third word, Emma was very, very generous too with her time and then just providing for us in terms of like food and snacks and quiet and yeah.
I think Appa is very sacrificial, 헌신적인 거. 아이들을 위해서거나 뭐 어디 무슨 교회를 위해거나 이렇게 very 헌신적인 거, sacrificial하고. And second word is he's loving toward a lot of people, not just family but other people too. Loving. And third word is problem solving. Whenever there is some problem, he solve it. But it's last minute, but he's always solve it. But I want him to ask every time I ask him to do it early, but he always solve the problem. So
Wait, frugal is not one of them?
I want to say just good ones.
Oh, okay.
There's a bad stuff.
There's bad stuff. Definitely bad stuff.
Of course, I have bad stuff. He didn't say.
When I think about Unji, and number one pops in my mind is always she plans very well. Planner. Lately, she is becoming wiser as a wife and as a mom. We call it 현모양처 in Korean. Third one is maybe she always reminds me of soft-hearted. And 한국말로 it means 여려. Means she worries for other people than herself too much. And okay.
Well done, that was good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is Chong, head of the house.
Okay, this one will be the last one spice question. Then Umma can read it.
What did you most enjoy doing as a child? 어렸을 때 가장 즐겨했던 일은 뭐예요? as a child, I remember I liked to play 공기. We're just sitting down on the ground and playing with the 5 rocks. And I was really good at it. Yeah, I enjoy playing 공기놀이.
Nice.
And you taught us all how to play kongi.
So I'm gonna answer. What did you most enjoy doing as a child? When I grew up, we didn't have a lot of stuff like tennis and golf. There's nothing like that at all. So the things we enjoy most is going out play without any sports equipment except soccer ball. Also, we did a lot of games that I enjoyed. Like you guys remember Squid game, 오징어 game? So with the 무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다, hide and seek, and 딱지치기, and marble. Those are the things we enjoy the most because you play outside all the time. Yeah. You're done?
Go, Oppa.
What is something I do that makes you feel loved? Should I look at the career phonetic? 제가 어떻게 행동할 때 사랑받는다고 느끼세요?
Appa would like this question.
Carry on.
I feel loved by you, Unnyok, when you spend time with me. I feel like that's a rare thing. I know it's really simple, but in my head, I feel like you're always busy or doing things, or we don't ever live in the same area. So especially in LA, when you wanted to host me and take me around and just like spending time together, and we have fun doing things that I feel like we don't have to like let's do this and because I think we could have fun doing it, but we both enjoy doing similar things. So that's also reassuring, or like for me, that we don't have to like fake having fun together, but we're
Natural.
actually having fun.
I don't know about love because we're like men, like we're like strong men. But like, yeah, I think for me, I can think of 2 things. I think one, I actually think at least I feel like you like stick up for me more than anyone in your family, like consistently. No, like 100% of the time actually. So I feel that from you. I feel like you do that intentionally. So I appreciate that. So I notice it. Okay, and not to say you guys like don't.
Yeah,
I'll
it's like there's a lot of
preface it.
layers. There's a lot of questions happening.
No. But like I feel it from Alex in like a very like proactive, like thoughtful way. And then 2, I think because like, so we started dating in 2014, and now when I see you kind of like being like open and sharing, and even with me, and sometimes that's even proactively, like it's not like a family thing, or it's not like I ask you, like there's been a couple times you just do it. That's like something also kind of unique to you. So both those times make me feel very like a part of like this family. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, I like letters. So when you like wrote me a letter once on your typewriter for my birthday, like a long time ago, that made me feel loved. But also like your recent birthday email, like it was for family, but those things make me feel loved because I get to also learn, like hear about our relationship or relationship for the family as well. And when you like quarantined and stuff when Jaden was born to like make sure you came and saw him as soon as you could, that made me feel very loved as well.
I think for me, the way especially I grew up, and usually it was coming down from our parents, do this, do that, and I influenced a lot of that to my kids along the way, and they caused a lot of issues, problems communicating to kids, because I always used to be do this, do that. If you don't this, and you'll be in trouble, something like that. So I had a lot of expectation all the time and along the way, and through many prayers, many up and downs, and I'm finding out that's a generation gap. I don't do that anymore. So I'm trying my best to do that. So I feel really loved by Alex when Alex Ennyok come and reach out to me. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
So like just like last
That was a long preamble, but yeah, that was good. It was good. Yeah.
I feel so loved by Ennyok when Ennyok is massaging me, hug me, and those touching moment stuff. Yeah, I feel so loved. And another thing is when mostly he doesn't talk detailed stuff, but when he talks to me, about life or stuff, what's going on, and those kind of stuff, if Unhyuk shares with me, then I feel so good. He's connecting with me, so yeah.
That was a hint that I should give you a massage.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Okay. Here's your question, Unni, but then before that was an action. So I'm going to read the action. Hold hands for the duration of the next question. 다음 질문과 답변의 시간 동안 손을 잡고 있으세요. 손 잡아. Oh, everyone holds hands.
Touch my shoulder.
Oh, you can hold one hand.
But I have to flip it to read the Korean.
Someone don't like the physical touch.
Yeah, that's not my love language. All right. When was the last time you cried? Why? 마지막으로 운 적은 언제예요? 왜 울었어요? Me? When was the last time I cried? And everyone's holding hands right now as I do it. Well, this is easy. I cry all the time. I cried when I just saw Unji kind of tear up. I cried.
But like
Why? So why?
It wasn't a real cry.
Yeah, what about crying?
Like tears?
Something comes out of your eye.
Oh, I cried when we were watching Everywhere Everything all at once. When
For
we
the, like, third
rewatched
time?
it. Yeah, I cry every single time I watch the same thing.
Okay, why? Why did you cry?
Why did I cry watching it?
Like, I know why I cried watching it. Why did you cry watching it?
Just like in life? I don't cry in hard moments of my life.
Yeah, you can do that everywhere, but why? Like, is there a scene that spoke out to you and came out to your emotions and your heart?
Yeah,
or
when I watch like touching scenes, like the only time I cry, there are a few times I cry in life. Do you want me to share about that?
Yeah, sure. Say
The last time I cried in life
Uh-huh.
was when I had a really hard day at work.
Did you cry at home or did you cry in the subway back home?
I cried at home. Yeah. And when it's oh yeah, this is after a bottle of wine. But it's just one of those when like everything bad happens just all in one day or over the course of and it all at once happened. But the last life thing was triggered by work.
Was that the day of the potluck?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I want to let go of hands now because that's like praying over us. Okay.
When I grew up, in my early days, our parents have taught us, men do not cry at all. Men only cry twice in entire life. When you're born, you cry without knowing you are crying. You cry when your parents die. Okay, that's what we have been taught when we grow up crying. But when you get old, okay, your cry comes out everywhere. Not only for drama.
I think he's talking about men.
No, you can't.
Yeah, because when you
Just
get
except
old,
for his experience, he has.
Mad?
Man.
Man, yeah. And
when you get old,
it's the opposite.
I get a man hormone, and he gets lady hormone.
That's medically.
That's right.
and
When you cry when watching a video.
no, not only that, even I cry when I pray song at church, and especially when I hear the really sermon that touches you.
Okay, Matt, go.
All right. What is the scariest thing that has ever happened to you? The physically scary. It wasn't even.
Turn
my
it
bad.
around.
Samyeonseo 가장 무서워. Wait. 무서웠던 에리온 뭐였어요?
That was good. 가정 무서운, right? I didn't heard that part. You said 가정 무서운.
There's no 가장. Oh, 가장. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I said 가장 무서운.
무서운. Only say it.
무서웠던.
Oh.
That was not that actually far off from what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was
That word I had no idea how to
무서운.
say. Eden. I said Irion.
It sounds like Aragon or something.
I mean, I'm trying to be phonetic.
No, that's good job.
Thank you. Oh, from the. Oh, so you were actually impressed. What is the scariest thing that's ever happened to you? I guess the literal scariest thing is when I was in Africa, we were in a bus. There's like eight of us, or like a car thing, and we were driving at night through kind of like a park area. Yeah, it was kind of like off into the park, and then we were driving, and then when all of a sudden there was a elephant. This was at night, so very dark. An elephant in front of the road, blocking the entire road, like a huge elephant. So we stopped, and then we tried to go back, and we looked behind us. Another elephant was on the other side of our car, so 2 giant elephants. And then I looked to the right and left, and 2 lakes full of hippos. So we had hippos, elephant, and we were stuck in a car. And this was probably, the road was like that door to the window, maybe a little further. That was like how much space between the 2 elephants. So we didn't know what to do. So we prayed, and then we decided what the best course of action is. We decided to drive at one of the elephants, and we did, and then it moved, and we got out. Because they said hippos are much more dangerous. We're like, should we swim? Like, should we go out? But there's a lot of hippos. That was like the near-death experience I think I've had.
This was my second year of med school before I went to join him for the Kilimanjaro.
The non-actual scariest thing, but it felt scary, was probably bungee jumping. That was scarier than skydiving, I think. And then the like personally scary thing, I guess 2 things like immediately come to mind. One, I'm not going to go into detail because I'm not going to cry. One is when I found out, my dad called me that my mom had cancer. So that was scary. And then 2, I think one of the times that we had like a big argument, and then it was just like, I'm not going to go detail that either.
You're going to cry?
No, but more like, I don't want to share all the details. But it just left in like a place where it was like very like heightened. So it wasn't like dangerous, but like, but it's just like, oh my gosh, like this just feels very like unsettled kind of thing. I think one of those was like pretty scary for me. No, less recent. Maybe like within the last 2 years, maybe.
Wow, you shared a lot of moments.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
So that's a very thorough answer.
Yeah, thank you. Appa, you can read this one. Only because this game is to like show how you can bridge gap of conversation. Luckily, we don't have as big of language barriers, but you know.
What was the most valuable lesson you learned from your parents? 부모님으로부터 받은 제일 귀중한 교훈은 뭐예요? From my mom, she always sacrificed for us. She still does, and always think about and care about us. So sacrificial love from my mom is the most valuable lesson. From my dad, he passed away too early. I had to go through a tough time with his cancer treatment. That was the lesson I learned from him. It's a tough lesson for me because as a family, when we heard about his cancer, the doctor said you can do a surgery and it can be cured right away. So we all told our father to have a surgery. In the beginning, he said yes, but right before the surgery, he and me sat together. He said, "정인아, I don't want to go through this. I don't want to go surgery." But I told him again, and Dad, if you don't get a surgery, you're going to be suffering rest of your life. If you have a surgery, which is a very good possibility, you'll be fine and you'll have a much better life. I told him that, and so then he had the surgery, and 1, 2, 3 days later he died. So there was a life lesson that it's tough lesson for me when parents say like that is where should I put my faith in it? So that's 2 things I can share.
Thank you, Appa.
Because I'm the youngest of 8, I didn't spend so much time with my parents. I spent more time with my sister and brothers. The one thing I remember from my mom, she was always loving person. When I get 신경질래 to my mom, she always nice to me. But sometimes when you guys 신경질래 to me, I go back. I might say back, but she was not. So I thought, yeah, so I am bad mother compared to my mom. Because my mom didn't even say anything. She just listened whatever I say. I was like kind of 신경질내 person. I think. Yes, my mom is really nice person. My dad was not that great to my mom, but she's still a nice person. She was really nice person. And then so I thought I should be really nice to my kids, but sometimes raising 3 kids, sometimes it didn't work. I had so many classes like that too, but I tried to do it, but when it's real life, then it was hard to do it. So for my dad, he did whatever he wanted to do it, I think. But he was really nice to me. I don't know. I like my father though. He was not nice to other. I mean, he is good, but he was especially nice to me because I was the youngest. He didn't even 야단쳐 me. Even if I did wrong, he 야단쳐 Oppa and Unni stuff. He was really nice to other people. Always 배려심 and those stuff. He didn't drink or 이런 건 안 했지만 엄마한테 조금 이렇게 난 나이스하게 하기도 하고 이제 편안하니까 그러는 거 대신에 다른 사람들한테는 굉장히 나이스하게. Some people, some 아빠들은 그냥 가족한테는 또 잘하는데 다른 사람한테 또 그냥 never mind 그렇게 행동하잖아. 좀 그런 거 있었지. 그렇지만 I can learn from that. I'd be nice to other people, right? So I am trying to be nice to other people. Whenever they need me, I try to do stuff, be there and do it.
Oh, you want to say it for you? Well, I've learned many lessons from my parents. I think there was one that Umma and I talked about recently that I actually use a lot in my classroom. And I don't know when she mentioned this lesson, but whenever she said that she like spilled milk or like something on the floor, in her head, instead of thinking, oh, I have to clean up this mess, or, you know, you get like stressed out about having to clean more things up, in her head, she would always think, oh, well, okay, this is a good chance to clean up the floor that I wasn't going to clean earlier. So it's a chance to make things cleaner than it was in the past. And so she said that just in passing, but I always remembered it. And then I share it with my class often whenever they make a mistake. I'll tell them, well, when you make a mistake, instead of thinking, oh, I made a mistake, you can also think about how you can think of something good that came from that mistake. Or you can think of something in a positive way instead of stressing out so much about the bad thing of that mistake. That was just like a small lesson, or just like a motto to see things in a positive light. Like there's like an actual saying.
Don't cry over spilt milk.
But like the more positive way to think about it is, you know, when something bad happens, try to think of the positive side of it, or the positive lesson that you can learn from that. And what always happens is your floor is always cleaner afterwards, right? Or there's always something that comes out better. And I think for Umma, she also lives that in her life. When something bad happens, she always tries to think about like the good that can come from it, or what is the positive way to look at things. So it's a 긍정적, you know, way to think of life. So that's something that I learned from Umma. One of the big lessons I learned from Appa is the value of money. I think maybe because he was so frugal with his money, I was like, I'm not going to be. And so I was like, oh, I don't know if you like hearing this, but it made me think that I don't want that to stress me out. But I think the life lesson in that is how important it is to still be, like the importance of, when I think about like saving money or making sure that you're wise with your money financially, the things, not just money, but the things that God has given you, to be thoughtful, to think twice about it before just spending it and using it. I think that's something that I've tried to kind of push away and not be more of. But at the end of the day, I realize how important that actually is. And I want to like honor that more in my life.
I think I learned from Appa about sacrifice. I know he said sacrificial love for his mom, but in terms of like how much he changes for people, which I think he changes too much. So I learned about not changing as much, but changing just right, like the just right amount. And then, of course, about saving and valuing money. That's an important lesson that he taught us, but I think that also goes into his sacrifices of not having to have extravagant things growing up. For Umma, I think the lesson that I learned is, especially now because she does play golf so much, and she found something that brings her a lot of feelings, a lot of joy, a lot of happiness, but also just something that is a constant in her life too. For me growing up, obviously that was soccer, and then I've been able to, as I've gotten older and my relationship with soccer and just sports in general has changed, it's still find time to exercise, but also like, you know, have my own co-ed team, and you know, not only about, you know, having to win all the time, but it's also just like the relationships with my teammates and the people that you play, especially now at my age. It's about those experiences. So that's something that I learned from Umma.
I think in the same way for Umma, like the sports thing, the idea that it's not just about playing the game, like you can be good at it, but like the time that you spend together doing it is important. So I remember, you know, when you told me to quit gymnastics, you're like, quit gymnastics, like you're not really going to be really that good at it anyways, but instead you should play tennis because that's a sport that you can play with your family when you grow up. But gymnastics is not a sport you can play with others. So I was very hurt by that at that time. But thinking back, it reflected that it's not just about the game or the sport, that you are also, you know, like our whole family is very competitive. So we enjoy the game and we enjoy the sport of it. But also it's about the time that you spend together doing that thing that you valued. And so
That's close to what I said.
For Umma, one of the things I think about right now, I guess, as I do raise kids, is when we stayed up late doing projects or things like that, she would always stay up with us. Or if it came to like an art component, she would kind of like supplement some skills and stuff. But like whether it was like fruit on the side or also just like staying up and making sure we were okay, I think that was something I really enjoyed, like knowing that there was a support in that. I don't know. I just remember that being something I wanted to do with like my kids in the future, not like stay up with them or stuff like not that exact thing, but that presence, right? In general, she sometimes, like all the time, but she likes to put those little lessons and then turn it into like a wisdom factor. And so I thought that was always nice, like always in the same tone of what you guys were saying, but finding a lesson or finding a bigger picture out of things like that. I think that's helpful in how I try to mindset or look at things. For Appa, and this is both like in terms of faith, and I am very grateful for the value of that being instilled because of being in this family and getting to meet Jesus at church. But I really did enjoy specifically getting to be in youth group when Appa was really involved in youth group, because I enjoyed like having like seeing my parent support like a value of mine, and also like kind of be the fun parent or whatnot with like my youth friends at that time. And so I think in general, he did teach me a lot about like serving joyfully and kind of having a childlike spirit when you do serve too, which connects with like the younger generation. So I do think that is something I carried from him, since I love to serve in youth settings or when I was a teacher for high school students, and really connecting with the childlike spirit, even if I am in authority, connecting with them in those ways and letting my energy be something that matches theirs, I think is something I learned from Appa. And also something we were talking about earlier with the sibling podcast in general is like the 17-hour when we're in Florida, or 8 hours later, or 12 hours when we go to Colorado. But when we do road trips, I think that was a good example of like just long drive sacrifices, but with the main purpose for both of Umma and Appa being like how important family is, and that we would drive a lot to get there. I think the more and more I hear just like in general, people would fly, or I mean, part of that is saving money, right? But the other part is like spending and making memories with the situation that is. I think a lot of our memories came in those ways, and that's because there is a commitment to creating a foundation of family, which I think is something I have always taken for appreciation in how we are such a close-knit family, and also how I hope to instill that value in Jaden and the second child as well. I think especially as being children of immigrants and having to really learn this new place, things like how family comes first and also for me like faith was a huge value are more rare to have experienced or received because of what might be of priority for that. And so I am grateful for those things being at the top of my lessons inherited. And then we will end with the action spase. Give each other a warm hug, which is something we did all the time when we were younger and we had fights or something. We would have to hug each other. So let's do that, guys. Woo!
Hug. I want a hug from Jaden. Where's Jaden? I know. He's my favorite hug.
Honestly, that game was so much fun to play so that we could reminisce about just a few of our past memories, reflect on how we can love and learn from each other, and also to hear small snippets from Umma and Appa's past, because I feel like it's so hard to ask those questions or remember to do so, and it was really cool just to hear the experiences they had growing up. Thank you again to my family for always showing up for my random podcast requests and delivering in a genuine and authentic way, even when it is uncomfortable for you guys. To the listeners, I encourage you guys to buy this game, Parents Are Human, in your desired language to engage with your immigrant families and spark dialogue for deeper connection within. It's really cool to realize and see the prints from the origins of our family's pasts, and it really makes me anticipate with hope on how Jaden and our second child will also grow in their own special ways and create their new legacies and traditions. Here's a glimpse of Jaden's thoughts to end our podcast for today. I hope you all had a wonderful Chuseok weekend spending time with family in person, over video chat, or via Kakao. Saying hello and welcome to
Hello.
Color Commentary. I'm Unji. And you're what? Jaden. And today we're talking about animal sounds. What does a mouse say? What do you like about Harmony? What's your favorite thing about Harmony? Is it that she gives you fruits? Yeah? Is it that you guys go outside in the morning?
Yeah.
What about Habiji? What do you like doing with Habiji?
Pull up.
You want to pull it up? Okay.
That's a bear.
That's better. What's your favorite thing to do with Imo?
Yeah.
What about Sachun?
Yeah.
Yeah? What song do you like singing right now called, what's your favorite songs?
Try everything.
You like Try Everything right now? Oh, that's a good song. Can you share? How does it sound? Can you sing it?
Yeah, that try everything song.
And Hey Alexa?
And
Hey Alexa, play Try Everything.
at the shop,
Hey Alexa, stop.
yeah, take try everything.
Okay, do you want to be done with this? All done?
Yeah.
If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to rate it 5 stars and subscribe so you never miss another. Go to @ColorCommentary to comment your key takeaways and share what you want to hear about next. I love hearing your feedback and the topics you want to listen to. Bye!